And the channel outro is a little spicy. It might be a tad bit loud. Hey, everybody, welcome to Perpetually Late by Technically Speaking, the live show that's never on time, because why would it be? I mean, we're professionals after all.
We didn't even market the show. No one is in here. It's just me and you, big boy. We didn't even market the show.
I mean, we're pretty terrible about that. It has been a bit of a crazy week. So,
so crazy.
My name is Greg. To my right is the ultra tatted up, super inked up. Oh yeah, I threw it out there. Mr. Scott Peachy. You like that? Showing off your guns. Did you see those lights over there?
Oh, I think the gem's over that way somewhere. I'm not entirely sure. No, yeah, Baymax. Baymax has now joined me in permanence. For
Until
those folks,
death do you part, forever and always, yada yada.
Yeah. When I get cremated, he's coming with me. Are you satisfied with your care? Yeah. Can you turn the temperature down a little?
See, that's a joke about hell, because that's you get the.
I was actually going to go with that's a joke about being cremated, but
oh yeah, that works too.
Cremation.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm just looking at it on the screen. It's like he is way bigger than I thought he was.
He's not small.
I mean, I have big arms because I had the gem a lot. Move that way. No, but I decided to get Baymax is a Gryffindor. He has a Gryffindor scarf on, and he has a magic wand, arguably the Elder Wand, some would say.
Yeah.
And Lumos. He's lighting the way.
Lighting the way.
Lighting the way.
My favorite part about this entire thing is, like, Baymax, very clearly a Disney character.
Very
Potter
Disney.
Universe, very clearly Universal.
Yes.
But you know what? Continuity be damned.
I don't care.
Yeah. I do what I want.
I will do what I want.
Do what I want.
When I want. How I want.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, none of you, for stopping by to check out this live stream.
Nope, Mayor's here.
The mayor himself.
The mayor, literally the only one right now.
Appreciate you, buddy.
It's me, you, and Greg.
It's your own personal live stream. How about them apples? We have a great show lined up just for you, buddy.
Yeah. True story.
I got to look up the topics because now I've done.
It's such a good show
that we
for
remember
you.
All of them.
We know none of the topics.
Talking about tonight, there have been some recent leaks about the Galaxy S10.
Yep.
And people are already annoyed with the direction that's going. Vitamin Water is going to offer you a boatload of money if you can make it 1 year. We'll talk more about that one. Just we'll tease it there.
I think the mayor could do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Whoa. Any more? I don't know.
I think the mayor could do it. I think he could.
What else are we going to talk about? Oh, Google has had
tough week.
They've had a tough week, man. Normally we're making fun of Facebook for having a tough week. Google's been in a rough spot lately.
Okay.
But through a whole lot of topics. That's probably 4 different topics that we'll hit on just right there. And just because I know Scott loves to talk about golf, there's a company that is now starting to work on an AI-driven virtual golf caddy.
I still don't even know what that means.
I mean, I'm not a golfer, so I'm hard pressed to tell. But
I'm a traditionalist.
You are.
I am. With golf.
Yeah. Golf. We'll get into that first. Do you want to talk about the Samsung Galaxy S10? Have you looked at any of the features of this particular bad boy?
Wait, do we want to hit him with the S10 or do we want to hit him with the vitamin water? I mean, this is 2 hot takes. Like,
pick your poison. Choose one.
Let's do the S10.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, no, I'm 50-50. S10's got a hole in it.
It does.
It does.
A literal hole in it.
And people are really, really upset. We'll get to that comment in just a second, Mayor. It says smartphone, not necessarily not a computer. We'll get to that.
Oh, does he know about it already?
No. Oh, he said he couldn't miss the show for a year. Yeah. Evidently, he knows about it. Look at you, Mayor, doing big things out there. I love it. But Samsung, instead of embracing the notch, like
right.
Which they've never done, like they just don't do that. They actually have a forehead, forehead and chin, right?
Yeah. Forehead, chin.
They decided to go with, I'm going to give you full screen
Yeah.
Except in the upper left, I think it's the upper left, I'm going to put a hole.
Through and through.
A hole. Is it through and through?
I mean, effectively.
Really? That's where the front and rear camera is?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really
well.
nice.
Okay, so we don't know 100%, but everything so far seems to indicate, including like all the early renders and stuff like that, all seem to show it looks like a hole that goes through and through, and it's where the front and rear camera is. Basically, everyone has been upset about the notch that is on iPhones and Google phones, the Pixel line, which, as you can attest to, is, and as we've talked about a number of times, one of the most overblown stories of the year. It's such just a stupid thing to argue about. It's the people that would rather have less overall total screen real estate than to have like a little notch or a little corner or something like that cut out. Anyway, so Samsung kind of has their own spin on this. Rather than doing a notch, the next version supposedly is just going to have this, they're going to move everything all up into one corner and have basically this little teardrop or this little circular notch cutout for the camera, which I think stylistically looks even better than the notch. But already the internet is on fire with people that are mad about having even that. And I don't get it. Like, the technology isn't really there to have no notch whatsoever. Like, there's not really a way to do.
It's just not there.
It's not. So,
which is fine. Just embrace it.
Yeah.
The notch is not a big deal.
Embrace change, people.
It's not a big deal. Miss Kathleen, thank you for joining.
We appreciate you, as always. We took your comments to heart. I want you to know. You got all up inside my head.
He is. You've got a lot of real estate inside of that brain. A lot of real estate up inside of his head. To the point where we made some dramatic changes, and then my computer just totally crapped the bed.
Yeah.
And so we're running off of his Mac and a 4K camera, and we don't have the resolution set right according to what YouTube keeps yelling at me for.
Yeah.
We're working out the details.
YouTube figured out.
We'll get there, but we should be nice and crispy eventually with this G7.
G7, yeah, Lumix G7. Not courtesy of, but comes at the recommendation of our good friend, the Everyday Dad, whom I greatly appreciate. Made the jump to 4K.
You did make
which we will have. We've got some video. Well, I've got some videos planned around that. So a lot more creator oriented, I think, with that stuff. As far as why with the G7 specifically, because I'm not an expert camera reviewer. That's not my primary mission. And besides, it's not a brand spanking new camera, and there's a ton of reviews that are out there. So I've got kind of my own spin that I'm going to take on it. Specifically, if you're a content creator, why does it make sense now of all times to make that jump to 4K? And I think there's a lot to be said for it if you have your workflow set up the right way. So
fun story. I'm about to drop this on him, and he has no idea it's coming.
He does this all the time.
I do it all the time because I love it. I'm actually I'm going to issue a somewhat of a formalized. I don't want to say formalized challenge, but I want to do a video.
Yeah.
Me versus you.
Yeah.
Why I think it's not a big deal to do 4K.
I will take you on that.
I am in the 1080p camp.
You are. Yeah.
I am.
Firmly in the 1080p.
Yeah. I don't think what you like. You can do cool camera tricks with 4K. Like that's the sell. Yeah, you do like I'm over here. Well, no, I'm over here. And really, you're in one spot. I get that, but there are other things that you can take your videos to the next level and not have to do that. That's my sell.
Okay. I will happily accept that challenge. I'm legitimately interested in seeing
I think we should
how we can do that challenge, either shot by shot, replicating shot by shot.
That's what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
I think it should be shot by shot.
Yeah.
Although like there's some things like you can take some really creative, like speed ramping is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have gotten a lot into speed ramping.
Yeah, so it's so funny. After you mentioned it in a video a while back, almost every video that I've done since then, all two of them, I have messed with speed ramping in some way. Hey, I called myself out on it. Speed ramping in some way. It's super interesting. It really does add like a neat effect, and it's so easy to do. So, yeah.
It's speed ramping. Like I think I can get you the. I am issuing the challenge.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
A creative challenge of your Lumix G7 4K versus my Canon T7i 1080p. So here's the problem that we're gonna run into. I literally am thinking out loud, like as we're doing this.
Yeah.
If we put it,
you're afraid of getting embarrassed.
No, if we put it in one video, it's either going to be my 1080p is going to be upsampled to 4K, or your 4K is going to be downsampled to 1080p.
Look, we can release separate videos. We can literally look. Here's my idea. Let's follow each other around. We'll just hang out one day. We'll follow each other around, and we'll basically both have our cameras out in front of us, and just capture the same exact footage. And then it's all about stylistically what you do.
Oh, like what we do from a okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. And we're gonna let you vote to see who wins.
I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we'll do it.
We're gonna figure it out. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we are going to, and I don't know when. Might be 3 months from now.
Yeah, our schedule kind of sucks. I mean, we are getting to the holidays. Can you cut us a little bit of slack here?
So one thing before we'll get to that, Michael Daniels, thank you so much for the super chat.
For real.
Seriously, we love you. Greg has told me that he has joined your after party and everything like that. Last couple Fridays and stuff like that. You're right. It's me. I'm the problem. I'm literally the worst. Some would say just ungodly bad. But I think I can get you stylistically.
Okay. I'll take you on that one.
Ooh.
You know how crazy I am about like certain stylistic things. So I'm very interested in seeing.
But we have. Okay. I'm gonna have some strict rules on this. Like,
okay, yeah.
Like, all right.
We'll talk about the rules offline, and then I think we should. So here's what I think we should do.
This.
I think we should do a video where we are both on camera talking about the challenge, what the rules are, all that kind of jazz.
Deal.
And then we'll do 2 different videos, release them both, and then
same time.
Yeah. And then let Twitter or YouTube or whoever, Instagram, let all the people's Twittergram.
Face of Twitter.
Yeah.
Ooh, thank you. The Everyday Dad says, I like the new logo, guys.
Glad you can stop by, Gary. We are actually shooting on the G7 that you recommended, sir, right now. Your face or my face coming to your eyeballs.
But the problem is
that
like,
G7.
I need to change the video resolution according to what YouTube keeps yelling at me. So you're only seeing us in 720.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not going to brag about that anymore. So.
Well, I mean, we're getting there. We're going to get there. It's just one of those things.
So, Michael Daniels, yes. As soon as I can strong arm him into joining the show. It's not even
strong arm. I want to do it. It's just I'm
apparently not that bad.
Look, Friday nights is like my night to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go out.
Mm-hmm.
I get Baymax tattoos on my arm. For those that are joining, Baymax has joined the show in a permanent fashion.
Tell the people how much that hurts right now.
I mean, it's pretty red. It's pretty sore.
It looks angry right now.
So, at Sacred Hand Tattoo, it's a shop in Columbus, Ohio. Sue is the person who tattooed me. She is fantastic. Absolutely loves Sue to death. She was as gentle as you can be with getting the inside of your arm tattooed.
It hurts.
It's a very sensitive area. It's swollen. I got my swole on.
You're swole.
I'm getting my swole on. But no, it was great. I love it. Fun story. As I'm just dropping random things, we're just having a conversation at this point. Topics be I did. I was good. Like through the first 90 minutes or so, I was pretty good. And at the very end, I was like, I really want this to be done. In my head, I didn't have any breaks. Didn't stop. I just powered straight through it. Mostly because I hate myself.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about getting. I am thinking about getting. We'll get to that in a second too. I'm thinking about getting a camera tattooed.
Yeah.
On my body.
Okay.
As it's kind of a thing that.
I mean, since we're into.
Well, yeah, that's kind of that's the thing that we do.
Yeah.
And I'm contemplating getting technically speaking tattooed on me. I'm not.
I would do the technically speaking thing. I mean, just as memento of being the place and time.
Ooh, are we gonna do it again? Where we just issued a challenge to each other, and now we're gonna go get super
matching
cool
tattoos.
Matching bro tattoos. Just two bros being bros.
God, that would be absolutely ridiculous.
I would probably just pick a random. You know what I would do? I would get the the Google camera icon. Technically speaking, underneath.
I mean, why not?
For a control channel, you should really record with a real potato.
Which I think is a hilarious comment. I also happen to know that Mr. Cameron Corey also enjoys photography.
Really?
So yeah. So we've had many conversations about cameras. So yeah.
So strong agree. And so just to catch everybody up, Baymax tattoo on the right arm. The S10 has a literal hole in it. We're going to issue a challenge because I think 4K is overrated. Not overrated. It's
unnecessary.
not necessary.
Yeah.
It's not necessary on YouTube.
So what makes it difficult is I don't disagree that 4K is largely unnecessary. My argument is if you are a content creator, there are advantages to 4K, even if you don't save the 4K footage.
Yeah.
There are editing and workflow advantages you can reap just by working in 4K.
100%.
And, yeah, and
I
that's
don't disagree.
my total argument.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting if we, well, again, we'll have to agree on the rules. But like if, for example, where I will win every single time is if we do a dolly in on something, and I'm shooting in 4K and you're shooting in 1080p, I will win, no question.
Oh my!
Look,
I mean,
you can't 1080p. You
that's...
can't dolly in and keep 1080p the whole way. You're gonna drop. You're gonna drop to 720. If you zoom in 50%, you will drop to 720.
Who says I need to zoom in? Don't. That's what she said.
Moving right along.
That's what she said.
So the S10.
Yeah, so let's go with the S10. Then we're gonna come back and talk about our channel, and because I mean we just kind of flip logos on everybody.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Talk about that, and then we'll get back to the
Last
S10.
week we just flipped logos on everybody and didn't talk about it.
I mean,
we'll talk about that when we talk about what YouTube did to us today.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
So S10, just to kind of wrap up that topic. So the S10 leaks that have come out right now. Granted, this is all based on information that's coming out of the UK right now, so we don't know how accurate this is going to be for the US market, but so far, there are rumored to be 3 different versions of the Samsung Galaxy S10. There's the straight-up S10, which is looking to be about a 6.1-inch display that is curved, comes in 128 gig or 512 gig internal storage. That's a lot of gigabytes.
For all those 4K videos that you're doing.
Fair enough. On the low end, just over $1,000, or on the high end, about $1,200. $1,262.
I'm telling you, we said it before. You can go back on one of the live shows that we had before. When everybody was like, $1,200 for a red hydrogen or $1,300 for a red hydrogen. I remember saying,
I give you that.
This is where we're going.
Yeah.
Like, get used to it. This is where we're going. This is the market that we're going into. It just is what it is. The one thing I will say is, and I hope if anyone, Google if you're listening. If you're listening. Not CIA. CIA, stop listening.
Yeah.
Google if you're listening. The idea is that you can beat them with software. Let's make sure we really hone in on that. If you hone in on it, which means you can just get just a wee little less on the hardware, but really beat the crap out of them with software and keep that price point, even if it's $9.99. If you can stay right there,
there's a lot of value to being
stay right
just
there.
Under $1,000.
Stay right there. If you can stay right there, you're going to get a lot. I think they've made tremendous strides in adoption. I've seen more pixels in the wild this year than I've ever seen them.
So there's a side story that I want to get to regarding that. The S10, the 6.1-inch S10 is the smaller one. S10 Plus, 6.4 inches, still curved, 128, 512, or 1 terabyte of internal storage.
For all those
4K videos you're going to
4K videos and all the movies you're going to watch on the copious amounts of travel that you're going to do.
A terabyte of internal storage. That is
how big's the
bananas
battery? Or allegedly.
Don't know yet. But that is $1,100 for the 6.4-inch 128 gig, almost $1,400 for the 512, or almost $1,800 for the 1 terabyte.
$1,800?
1,767 if you do the conversion between UK pounds and American dollars.
$1,800.
$1,800 for a 6.4-inch 1 terabyte phone.
My MacBook.
No.
My MacBook.
Yeah.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Was
not that much more.
Not that much more.
Yeah.
And that's a whole computer.
Yeah.
Not to say that you can't do a lot with smartphones, because
For
you
sure.
absolutely can, and I'm a huge proponent of that. $1,800. $1,800.
I mean, that's if you want the biggest phone with the most storage. And frankly, I would be surprised if they managed to sell that many 1 terabyte phones. Because I feel like there's certain specs with phones now that is just like it's unnecessary. Like by the time you might even reasonably use that much storage, you've probably moved on to a different phone. You know what I'm saying?
That would be interesting. It would be the opposite of what Vitamin Water is doing with the 100K. Only use the S10 one terabyte for a year.
Just to see.
You only get the phone. You don't get a computer. You don't get anything else.
I'm telling you, your average person, I feel like, would be very hard pressed to fill. Your average person, I feel like, would be hard pressed to fill 512, let alone 1 terabyte. I mean, you're going to have to be all in on content creation of some variety. Maybe you're doing it for YouTube. Maybe you're just taking pictures of your kids or whatever. But you're still going to have to be constantly taking pictures and videos.
I'm trying to think
to use a terabyte.
I don't even think I use 100 gigs.
Look,
and I use my phone a lot.
For the entire lifespan of my children, we don't have a terabyte of pictures and videos combined.
I can't say that.
We don't.
No, I mean, I can't say that. You might be able to say that. I can't say that.
For sure, you've looked.
We got a lot.
Yeah,
we got a lot. I have well north of 700 gigs.
Yeah,
and that doesn't count the last several pixels that I've had where I've gotten the free storage.
Oh, you're just I don't care. I don't care.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. Like I
mean, to be fair, we've trimmed down the pictures. Like we'll go through occasionally and say these 15 pictures are trash. Get rid of them.
Yeah, I don't do that.
So you probably do have.
I'm sure that I do. I have copious amounts of photos.
Sure. Yeah. I would imagine. Free storage. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I take pictures of everything. I have screenshots of our conversations that are so dumb. Like you don't need to keep that, but it's a photo that I keep. But it's like, I could come back to it and be like, oh, that's right. I remember that memory. I remember I went like Greg.
I don't keep them, but, I mean, I take screenshots of stuff all the time. I probably take more screenshots than I do of almost anything else.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, for sure. Or downloading random memes from the internet. That's the other thing I'm
love memes.
Ultra guilty of. The other interesting thing, Samsung is also following in line with Google and with Apple. They're going to release a low-powered, a light version of the phone. It's called the Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite, 5.8-inch display, flat, not curved.
$1,100.
128 gigs of internal storage, $845.
Why would you do that? Get a Pixel 3. $845?
Yeah, $845 for that.
Google's running deals right now. You can get a fully boated up Pixel 3 or Pixel 3 XL with 100% more notch for I think less than that.
100% more notch. 100% more notch.
I'm pretty sure. Like, look, some of the Black Friday deals they have.
Yeah.
Look, if you go back and watch a Black Friday video, you can follow that.
Yeah, sure can.
That's just my fanboyism coming out. I'm not a Samsung person. Somebody actually had the audacity to come into our comments and say that the Samsung Gallery was better than Google Photos.
Oh my gosh, that might be one of my all-time favorite comments.
Get out of here with that trash. What are you talking about? Google
so
Photos?
Funny. So funny.
What?
Also persistent rumors that the S10 is going to bring back the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Premium feature. Figure that one out.
Premium feature.
Everything that's old is new again.
True story. My daughter violently wants a cassette player for Christmas.
You told me about this.
She wants.
Look, tell them about buying from Amazon. That's a great story.
Had to bought a certain type of book on cassette from Amazon. The guy selling it actually emailed me and was like, "Hey, are you sure you wanted the cassette? Did you want the cassette or did you want the CD?" And I was like, No. Yeah, I really needed a cassette, but thanks for reaching out. Good looking out, dog. Just I still need that cassette from '89.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I have people at work, they're like, wait, she wants a what? I go, a cassette player. Why? Look, let's not question it.
Don't question the method.
They're like, look, I got boxes of cassettes that she can have. I like to bring them on.
Yeah.
Boxes.
That's hilarious to me.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right, so.
Phones.
Phones? I thought we were going to talk about channel. Go on.
Well, I was gonna
close it up.
Well, no, I was gonna transition right into that next phone related topic.
All right, go for it.
So, if you don't want to spend the money on a Samsung Galaxy S10 because they're too expensive, and rightfully so, Vitamin Water will give you $100,000 if you can go a whole year without a phone.
Whole year.
Whole year. The whole year.
The whole year.
365 days.
You go 6 months, you get 10 grand.
That's interesting. So
10 grand for 6 months? I couldn't go 60 days.
I mean,
I couldn't go 6 days.
It's hard. It's really hard to do.
You did go 6 days.
Oh,
it's awful.
It's not fun.
But here's the thing: saving grace is you can totally use like a. They did not specify whether you could use like a tablet
for communication and stuff.
Like,
I don't know.
That.
So to be fair, we have not looked into the rules at all, but it does say they will give you $100,000 if you go an entire year without using your phone. And I'm trying to look at like what are all the stipulations.
Use your phone. Okay, sure. Here's my phone. I can do MacBook. I can do a tablet. I can
here we go.
Internet.
Here we go. Restrictions include. Okay, so there's a grand prize, one grand prize, a 1996 era cellular telephone that may be used for communication during the contract time period, including a monthly phone plan accompanying this phone.
Okay.
And the opportunity to enter into a contract to not use a smartphone for 365 consecutive days. All details to be determined by sponsor, blah, 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 blah. Now, restrictions include no smartphone or tablet use, including using another smartphone or tablet that does not belong to you. Laptops and desktop computers are okay to use. Voice-activated devices that are not smartphones are okay, like the Google Home or the Amazon Echo.
Okay. So
I could do that.
No.
I have a laptop.
No, you can't.
No, I can't do that.
You couldn't do it. No way.
Nah.
So I can't use a tablet, but I could use a non-smartphone. I'm gonna be that person like could turn like, hang on, let me take a selfie. Turn the MacBook around. Get in the frame.
Yeah, I'm super interested to see like.
I bet the person doesn't make it 6 months. No way.
I'm interested in, so if they have a whole bunch of people that are like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Like, think about people that don't have a smartphone now.
But you know how they're getting people to say, I'll do it? Tag them on Twitter and Instagram. Where the majority of people...
That you would do on a smartphone.
Right. That's how they're picking people to be in the contest.
Oh, they're selecting people to be in the contest first of all.
Oh, they're selecting the one.
The one person.
The one person.
Interesting. Okay.
From being tagged on Instagram and Twitter. So they're gonna like Instagram.
I'm gonna hit him up on Twitter and be like, hey, I've already tried this. Believe me, it's
not
gonna work.
You know
out
what?
well.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
You
tag them, show them the video, and be like,
tag them,
right
show
now.
them the video, and say like, hey, you want to know what it's like? Tell the person to do this thing.
Yeah.
I bet you should.
I bet I will.
Well,
I bet you
sure
I will.
I bet you won't.
I bet you won't.
I bet you won't.
Man, $100,000 though would be.
I mean, it'd be nice.
You could buy a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus.
At least one.
1 terabyte one.
One.
18,
one of them.
Just one of them. $1,800.
After tax, you're getting like 65.
Yeah, that's true too.
65.
I could pay off all of my debt. No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so you guys
Why don't you
noticed
tell
that
people,
you guys noticed that we made some channel changes.
we did stuff. We did a thing.
So you probably have noticed that the avatars are gone. The bearded avatar and the peach with glasses is gone. We're trying to build the brand that is technically speaking into something that's less garbage. No, just trying to get a little more polished, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like when we cross the 10,000 subscribers, and more on that number in a minute, we went all in with Scotty Boombox to say like, hey, let's work on our graphic design. So the big 3 colors that we're using is white, black, red. Just kind of working with those colors because those are the ones that we use the majority of the time. You've probably noticed it a lot with our thumbnails, getting a little more crispy on the thumbnails. I've stepped up the thumbnail game.
You have. You've actually. I really like the new thumbnail style.
Yeah, I've really been
super big fan of that.
Going all in on that. But we're just getting a little more crispy and crisp and tight with the stuff that we're doing. We have created a media kit that we're going to kind of put out to the masses to see if they will be interested in partnering with us. one of the big things that I would really like to see that we do in 2019 is collaborations with other YouTubers.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to pull that off, but I would love to be able to do it because I think it would be fun.
It's harder than I think even we initially anticipated, because when we, I mean, if you recall, back a handful of weeks ago, we started doing a lot of interviews with other YouTubers and stuff like that, and I legitimately love doing those segments, but man, it is really, really hard.
It is a logistical nightmare.
It is way challenging to try and work out the logistics with other people and our schedules and their schedules and everything else. It's super duper hard. So that's why we haven't been able to do it since. Like most of the people that we've reached out to, it's either something that's coming in the future once we can both kind of, well, all of us get out of crunches, but it's either like you're busy, I'm busy, they're busy, something along those lines. So it's tough, man.
Yeah, we're just trying to basically keep our head above water. We've made the dedication that we're going to do Sunday releases like we've done before. So Sunday releases and then live shows, but it's just so time consuming to do those things, and we want to put out such a good product. That's the reason why. So we're doubling down on making things look better, more crispy, except for this show today. We need to get better about marketing our stuff, but today we're just busy, man. It's a busy time of the year. Yeah. Not that we're making excuses, just like we're really bad.
Not that we're making excuses. We're just making excuses.
I'm bad at planning and prioritizing during this time frame.
I mean, it's a tough time for that. What else are we going to talk about? You want to talk about this AI golf caddy thing?
Did we just not? Are we still live?
I mean, I believe so. Are we not?
I don't know.
It looks live to me.
Somebody says, "Is it just mine, or is everybody have issues with
my
video?"
No, I'm seeing that too. Stream quality not so hot. Watch it. Watch it. It'll hiccup. There it is.
I don't know. That's weird.
Hard telling. We're even hardwired in too.
It's
super annoying. Oh, I bet that's resolution mismatch right there. I bet that's a portion of what that is. Espanol. No. Sorry, bro.
I can hear you, but the screen is jumping.
Yeah.
It's choppy. Let me
give me a second. We'll look into that right quick.
Let me look at the ingestion settings. Yeah, no, like we're gonna literally like do this right off the fly, huh?
I mean, to be fair, this is the first time that we've shot with this camera doing the live show. So, that was. I mentioned earlier in the tweet that we put out that we were going live at 8:30, which is later than normal. We had a few technical hurdles to fix up. One of them being I'm running the show on my MacBook today, and we're also running on a new camera. So,
literally everything is new.
Everything is about as new as you can get. So, all right.
It's just choppy. I'm not really sure what to do about that.
I don't know.
Are you looking it up? Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm looking at system stuff, but it's like it's busy. The computer is running a lot. Let me do this. I'll just turn that off.
I love how we do this right on. Like, look, you want to know what it's like to do a live show on YouTube? Here you go.
We're running lot of logistics.
It's a lot of logistics. We're running this stuff off a couple MacBooks. We don't have it. We're hardwired in, which is a bonus. But this is us. This is what you get with us.
You wanna pull up the live stream and just keep an eye on the stream? I paused mine and turned it off. Oh, you have it on right now? Okay, cool. All right, so let's just power through. You want to talk about Google's really terrible week?
You talk about the YouTube Rewind thing?
I mean, that's on the list of things to talk about.
Look, I'm gonna take my glasses off because this is how I feel.
Hit just some real talk.
And look, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Let me just be clear about that. I don't think it's the worst video ever on YouTube though. It's just not.
Yeah.
The quality. Look, it was a high quality video, kinda. Like the actual quality of the video was very good.
Back up. What is the YouTube Rewind?
So YouTube Rewind is essentially the video that comes out. They've been doing it since 2011. That basically talks about what they've accomplished in the year or the biggest things on YouTube in that year. That's what that's how it started. That's what it was supposed to be. That's not what it is now, and that's a separate conversation we'll get to in a second. But when it first came out, 2011, Rachel Black, which is the girl I think that sings Friday.
Yeah, Rebecca Black.
Okay,
Rachel.
That's that too. See, look, I don't.
How do you not know that cultural icon?
Really? Like, are you being facetious
totally being
right
facetious,
now?
Yeah.
Like,
look, she was big for 38 seconds.
At least a Friday.
Yeah.
But she said this is like the top 10 videos from YouTube. And it didn't matter whether it was kind of controversial or not. It was just, this is what the top 10 videos were. And then Google figured out, and I'm not like trying to piggyback off of what MKBHD's video was a couple days ago, but he talked
Which
about
was really
this.
good.
It was a very good video. I'm not trying to piggyback off that, but a lot of the comments that he made in his video is exactly right. It's not, personally, it's just not a video that highlights all of the biggest things on YouTube, because it is a great video to show advertising companies where they should be advertising.
Absolutely.
It's business. Just pure and simple. It's business. So it shifted a couple years ago. It went from like kind of talking about all the interesting and cool, even
like
controversial,
a top 10.
Like a top 10
which
thing
was the original
that happened.
Pitch.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. And then it became I mean, this is mostly top 10, but let me tell you where you should put your money.
Well, so it's
business.
It's a mashup. It's a collab, or like just a mashup of all of the biggest creators on YouTube. So initially it got pretty good reviews on when they first did it in 2013 or 2015. I can't remember what year they initially started doing this big mashup style. And every single year that they've done it, it's gone bigger and bigger and bigger and slightly longer. Like the first one was like 3 minutes tops, and then it was like 6 minutes, and then 8 minutes, and it just keeps getting longer, and they keep mashing more and more people into it. But the real problem is like looking at it objectively as let me take my content creator hat off and look at it just as like a consumer of the video itself. It's impossible to see what's going on in those videos. There are so many cuts.
Oh my God.
Like so many not inside jokes, but the people that are on there, you don't know 90% of them. And this is me as a person. I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
So do
I didn't know 90% of the people that were in those videos. Go ahead.
No, there was just too many jump cuts after jump cuts. Like they went from just like, I want to put so many people in it just to show that look how vibrant our community is.
Yeah.
It really just turned me off of it a lot, because they just kept shoving more and more, and like I couldn't even concentrate. Like I would need to go back and watch that thing probably at least half dozen times just to catch things that I didn't get.
Yeah.
But it was happening so fast. Like I don't get the point of like, why would you just want to just shove that much so fast? Like I know that Casey Neistat and MKBHD specifically said they were on set recording for 12 hours.
Yep.
And they were on film for like 7 seconds. 12 hours
tops
with 7 seconds? What? Like I get it that's a thing. Like I get that's what's basically called making a movie. But why? Why? Embrace the fact that you're just going to highlight some YouTubers.
Yeah.
You're going to get Casey, you're going to get MKBHD, you're going to get the Fortnite guys.
Ninja was actually, I think Ninja had the most screen time out of just about anybody.
Right,
it seemed like.
Which is great. He had a great year. But then you get into but you're not even bringing up the people who were the most controversial.
Yeah.
PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Shane Dawson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Logan Paul.
The KSI Logan Paul stuff.
Yeah.
Those are big YouTube events. Yeah. Like you at least gotta
mention it, name drop something.
But again, it's not good for advertisers. Yeah. And that's where people have to say like, this rewind that you saw this year was YouTube rewind for advertisers. That's what it was.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Now, the flip side that I have on that is, so Michael Daniel says that was an awful rewind. I agree in the, again, if I take the content creator hat off and I look at it just as a consumer, it was not good content. It's not something that I think is enjoyable to watch necessarily, which
Not
is a
at all.
tragedy because there was a message that kind of ran through the whole thing as far as like it was a big year. They really talked a lot about diversity and women content creators and all that kind of good stuff. There was a lot of like fantastic stories. Oh gosh, what's her name? The roboticist that had brain cancer.
surgery.
Yeah,
Double down on that.
that was great. Like it was.
I want to know more about that.
Simone Gerritz. She's a fantastic content creator. Super duper smart. I mean, light years smarter than either one of us schmucks. And
Damn.
and it was awesome to see her like on the road to recovery, talking about like the struggles and how like YouTube was the platform that she had spent so much time on and really helped her get through all that.
Double down.
Awesome. Yeah, like great messaging, and all of that got lost behind. And again, put the content creator hat back on. Terrible edits. The scenes were well shot, but just way too many jump cuts and terrible edits, and you're trying to squeeze way too many jokes in. Is that our subscriber? So we got hit.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, saw it.
It was not a good YouTube rewind, but I also feel like, so right now, part of the reason we're talking about this, the 2018 YouTube rewind is the #1 most disliked video in all of YouTube history. Period, point blank, end of sentence, bar none.
Yeah.
The #1. Number 2 was Justin Bieber's Baby. That's how long.
Baby.
Oh, that's how long it has taken another video to to overtake the throne.
And his video wasn't even that bad.
And it was instantaneous.
It's just hate.
It was, yeah.
So I think part of the other problem was people were just saying, "Oh, I'm not going to dislike it because other people do it too."
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate that.
No question. And again, as content creators, like that's the type of thing that we see where it's like you absolutely will see the dog pile effect. You'll see the mob mentality of, because it becomes popular to hate on a thing, that breeds, like it's its own life unto itself, is like breeding of that hatred inside of the comment section or inside of the dislikes and stuff like that. That's just to be expected.
Yeah.
And good on YouTube for leaning into it. They put out a tweet earlier that says like, "Hey, we broke a record." Oh wait.
Not the one you want to go and break, but the point is like it didn't just call it what it is. It's YouTube rewind for advertisers.
Yeah.
And that's
I
okay
totally agree
because
with
that helps us with more advertisers than more like, okay, that's fine. Let's call it what it is.
Like almost make 2 copies of it. Make a cut that is just like, this is the sizzle reel that we're gonna send out to advertisers.
Perfect.
I think that's a great, like what
YouTube
you had for
reel.
The YouTube Rewind 2018 as a sizzle reel for advertisers, brilliant. By all means, they'll eat that stuff up. But if you're trying to honor the content creators that showed up and did all the work for that, or did like long hours worth of shoots for that. I mean, obviously they didn't do the editing and stuff. Or you're trying to be true to the people that, you know, the viewers like you that arguably put those YouTubers in the first place to be on the YouTube Rewind. It didn't honor either one of those groups. Really.
No, to me it was a miss.
Yeah,
it was a miss because of what you were trying to portray it as. You tried to ride the fence. And it just didn't work. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I brought up to Greg what we should do is a YouTube rewind for content creators less than, what would it say, 75,000?
Yeah. Which I think is a brilliant idea, but the logistics of that are...
That would be rough.
I
wouldn't even know where to go.
I wouldn't know where to go. I wouldn't know where to start other than, like, the pitch to the creator community to say, like, put together, you know, a 5-second clip of something. I don't know. That kind of, like, highlights your channel. 5-10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like, how else would you...
Do you know how many channels are less than 75,000 now?
Damn near all of them.
Right, that's what I mean.
Let's be real.
Like, I almost feel like we would have to cut that off at, like, 15,000. If you're 15,000 and in...
Yeah.
Like, I can think of a lot of great channels that have less than 15,000.
Oh, for sure.
You're watching one of them right now.
Shameless self-plug.
Shameless
Love
plugging. Shameless plugging.
Also, so that was early on in YouTube's really not so good week. Also, they just fairly recently announced December 13th and 14th, and for those of you keeping score at home, that's today. and tomorrow is the Great YouTube Purge of 2018. So YouTube has announced that they are going to go through and start purging spam accounts, spam videos, so on and so forth.
We have been affected.
We haven't. Up until we went live, we had not seen any impact on the channel whatsoever.
And the only reason I did is I happened to pull up the dashboard to get this what? What?
You know, you want to speech again?
This is the remix.
What? Anyway,
the live subscriber count, we're actually up overall.
Okay.
By a lot.
I'm good with that. We've had a really good month.
10,309. 10,309. So I was like, we're like it when you
that's
look
a
at
new
the
high
last
score.
Look at the last 28 days, it's like you're up so many hundreds of subscribers. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I pulled up just the overview of where we were. That's your Sony video, by the way.
Doing work?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we found the sauce with that one.
I'm interested. We'll talk more about that. I'm interested.
Looks like we lost. Pour a drink out for your homies.
Yeah.
We were affected to the tune of 13 subscribers.
Aw.
Just 13.
I'm okay with that.
13 spam accounts look like they have been purged from our account.
Yeah.
Now that's just for yesterday. I don't know the numbers for today because they said that today was going to be the day where a lot of people got hit.
Yeah.
But that's just from yesterday. And when I looked at what our live subscriber count is right now, 10,309 is the live subscriber count.
I'm good with that. I can handle losing 13 people. And so far, a lot of channels that I've seen reporting in on Twitter and stuff, maybe the worst that I've seen is like 150. Now, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot even to us. 150 would be like, whoo, that one stings. Sure, but the people that have lost like 150 are also the people that have like over 100,000 subscribers. So
you're 150.
Yeah, I'm at 150.
Like you get that back in like a day. We get that takes a good couple.
Yeah,
that takes us a bit. We're not growing like gangbusters.
We'll look. 150 subs disappear overnight. We will notice.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll know that one. Ooh.
I'm interested. Some of the rest of you that are in the comment section that happen to create, I'm interested. Report in if you happen to see what kind of losses you guys have seen, whether or not it's significant. You don't have to give us exact numbers or anything like that. Just curious about what kind of losses people are seeing. If it's significant, so far it looks to be sort of in the neighborhood of like 1% or less. Well, less than 1%.
Right? I don't think that's right. So wait, did we math that right?
You're the math major, not me.
I'm not a math major. So it would be 1 person for 100, 10 person per 1,000. That's 1%, right?
Yes.
So then 1% of 10,000 would be 100. We lost 13.
So way less than 1% for us.
0.01.
Yeah, but I'm saying
0.01% of our
at
subscriber
most
count.
We've seen like 150-ish on over 100,000. So still, I mean, it's again at most 1% less from what I've seen so far. Also, Michael Daniels asked whether or not they are deleting channels. Yes, it does look like they are. It's spam account related only, or people that have mostly violated YouTube terms of services, the 3 copyright strikes, that whole thing. Those are the accounts that they're deleting. So far, the numbers that I've seen are like upwards of like 1.6 million channels deleted between July and September, the last time they went through and did this exact same thing, which was a net result in about 7.8 million videos taken off of YouTube, and no one noticed.
No one.
7.8 million videos off of YouTube is nothing.
It is nothing.
It's
it's
a rounding error.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. And here's 7.8 million more, and they're back.
Yep.
And they're back. And they're probably people who like to steal videos. Like Greg had, Greg had his video. We had to put a copyright strike out.
I feel like that's validation, man. We are legit now.
I know.
That makes me so happy.
Your video,
my Google Wi-Fi video.
Your Google Wi-Fi video where you look like you peed yourself a little bit in the beginning.
I did. You literally scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Figuratively scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. That video was copied. Blatant.
I mean, they didn't even there was no attempt. Yeah.
The icon.
They downloaded the video and re-uploaded it on their channel, and then did the Amazon affiliate link because that's all they were after.
Yep.
Which, I mean,
I guess
dirty,
good
but
on them,
yeah,
but whatever.
Smooth move. I see what they're doing there. Also, in Google's not so good week that they've had, well, I guess that was all about YouTube. This is Google proper now.
I
Google,
didn't think it was a bad week for that. I thought that was hilarious. Sundar?
which part? No, I was going to go with Google Plus announcing that
was bad.
there's been a second breach that Google announced in Google Plus, and as a result, Google has actually decided they're going to close Google Plus early. So not only they had a pretty aggressive timeline for closing down Google Plus as it was. Second breach gets disclosed, and now they're like, forget it, we just got to get out, and they are pulling the plug early.
They're pulling the APIs by February?
I think so, yeah. That's quick to have a major service like that shut down. That's fast. Now then again, ain't nobody using
about that. I love Google Plus.
I thought it was,
loved it.
I thought it was great, but I feel like they came up at the wrong time where there was already a popular social network platform in Facebook, and nothing that Google provided was enough to really pull people away from Facebook. And now we're at the point where social media really has a lot of negative connotations to it. It's the reckoning of social media, Scott.
If only there was a video for that.
We've
made a lot of videos,
plugging our own stuff left and right now.
I guess we really made like a lot of content.
We have. I would be interested in seeing what are like the numbers we put together for the whole year, like how many videos we put out. Not
this
counting
year,
live show, yeah. I mean, we're not 52 because we didn't hit one a week.
Yeah, but there were some weeks where, like, look, that one.
Oh yeah,
week,
we did like 3 in a week. Yeah, I don't know. We might.
You
have
know what?
Pretty close.
You hold the show for a second.
I'll
look that up.
I got you.
We will do live stream analytics now.
So yeah, Google announced that they're going to be closing Google Plus early in light of this second disclosure.
It scared the daylights out of me.
Is that your backpack?
It was my backpack. Scared the crap out of me.
Duh.
So
in October, Google decided to disclose that they found data on about 500,000 of its users had been exposed, which is
ungood.
Less than good. Now, the interesting thing is how quickly they disclose this, and you would know why that is. Why did they jump all over just disclosing that as quickly as possible? GDPR.
Well, they have to. That's the
what
law.
I'm saying.
Yeah. The law says so in the GDPR law.
But that's why they jumped all over disclosing it so quickly, is because of GDPR. Because previously, look, having come from IT security, where you'll have vulnerabilities that will be around for a while, but no one's really talking about it. Disclosure usually closely correlates with patching and stuff like that. So the fact that it was like, hey, there's a thing, we have to disclose it, like we're on the clock. It happened, and now we have to disclose it, I think is a net win for consumers, personally.
What is GDPR? Is it 30 days?
I don't know.
I can't remember the disclosure date.
So
I can tell you that is not what it is in the U.S.
No, yeah. So here's the thing. In October, they talked about finding data for 500,000 of its customers, right? Google has found another bug in Google Plus social network that says that it may have affected as many as 52.5 million users.
What did it give away?
That's what I was getting to. Name, email address, occupation, and age, even if you had your account set to private. So it's not as bad as it could get, but that's still pretty bad. Name, email address, occupation, and age, that's a lot of sensitive data.
Article 33, GDPR, notification of personal data breach to the supervisory authority. In the case of personal data breach, this is, by the way...
Which is what this is.
This is GDPR, the law.
Yeah.
In the case of a personal data breach, the controller shall, without undue delay and where feasible, no later than 72 hours after having become aware of it, notify the personal data breach to the supervisory authority competent in accordance with Article 55,
72
unless
hours.
the personal data breach is unlikely to result in a risk to the rights and freedoms of natural persons. Where the notification to the supervisory authority is not made available within 72 hours, it shall be accompanied by reasons for the delay.
72 hours is hatefully aggressive.
That is Article 33 in GDPR. Article 55, competence. Each supervisory authority shall be competent for the performance of the task assigned to and the exercise of the powers conferred on it in accordance with this regulation on the territory of its own member state.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. At this point, you're reading legalese to me. But so as many as 52.5 million users, and the fact that they had to disclose that in 72 hours is, dude. Think about when that bug first came up. Just think about how quickly somebody had to go like pick up the big red Batmobile or Bat phone type of thing.
Oh, guys,
call Sundar, and then how
we have
much
a problem.
everything just stopped. Like all attention turned on. We need to figure out
I doubt
the
it was
scope
72
and scale.
hours.
I don't see any possible way. I'm
That's
sure
where
the paperwork says that they did it in 72 hours.
Well,
This
it
kind
says
of
without undue delay. Like they have to communicate the data breach without undue delay. Like basically, unless
don't sit on it.
Well, no, you can't sit on it.
Right.
You have to describe where the notification has not been made within 72 hours. It has to be accompanied with a reason for the delay. Like I have to tell you why I didn't do it within 72 hours. I mean, and you can still be fined a lot if they're like, I don't like the delay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Michael Daniels points out he's a huge Google Plus fan, hates to see it go. And when we brought up the 52.5 million accounts, see, I thought everyone thought no one was using Google Plus. I see what you're getting at. However, keep in mind that's just 52.5 million accounts they were sitting on. There's the numbers of active accounts or active site traffic that they saw was embarrassingly low. I mean,
it was a good social media platform too.
It was, but no one used it. And again, I think they just happened to come up at the wrong time, right when Facebook was kind of at its peak. And then shortly after that is when really there's this semi-rebellion happening against kind of traditional social media. And this is all a result of the kind of like fake news era that we live in and the absurd amounts of power that social media has over society right now. So yeah, I'm amazed that they stuck it out as long as they did. It does suck to see it go because it was a great platform. Definitely some issues. The number of times that I tried to join groups that turned out to be adult-oriented.
I love it when I'm like, I'd be going through like Artem from Android Police. I would be going through his feed and be like, Artem, bruh.
Yeah, and it's just some random group that decided to post something that shows up on your
and it
thing.
Gets super aggressive. Like it got to the point where I would not pull up Google Plus at work because it was not safe.
It's not safe for work.
Not safe for work.
Yeah, real not safe for work.
And it didn't used to be that way.
Yeah.
Sucks.
You want to do the last thing with Sundar?
We'll hit on that, and then we can call it a day.
Because that's all I got after that.
Congress people don't know. Is it Congress or House? This is not political. It's the Senate. That's it. This is not political, except for the fact that Sundar had to go in front of the House Senate committee.
Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google,
had to go in front of the committee, the Senate committee. I don't even remember what the committee was for. Technology and something or other. And essentially had to explain to him that Google and Apple are two very different companies. Because some Republican from Iowa was like, I need you to tell me my 7-year-old grandbaby, they're on their iPhone, and the
Iowa senator from Texas apparently.
I'm from Iowa.
That's what Iowans sound like. Iowans sound just like that. Sure.
From Des Moines.
Des Moines.
I need to understand why my daughter or my granddaughter saw her grandpappy that had some choice words come up on the screen. Can you tell me how I got that on my iPhone?
Yeah.
And then
talking to Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google.
Sundar goes, that's not our phone. Sir, that's a different company. Because it's a different company.
Yeah.
Evidently they don't understand how phones work or companies.
So, to be fair, we're talking about an older demographic, shall we say, non-technical people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that they don't understand. The embarrassing thing though is that it's a televised thing where they're trying to, much like the YouTube Rewind thing, deep buried inside of it, there is a central kind of core message that is important. It's an important conversation to be had.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important message.
Yeah.
So the thing overall that was supposed to be brought up during the Senate hearing is basically trying to get to the bottom of undue political influence that social media may or may not have.
Sure.
This came up specifically about whether or not Google is censoring search results and stuff like that. Now think about how valuable it would be to have an intelligent conversation. I know I lost a lot of people right there, but have an intelligent conversation between government officials and the CEO of the world's largest search engine to have a real discourse about whether or not they are censoring search results or floating, political propaganda to the top of search results if you're left-leaning or right-leaning or whatever. That's an important conversation to be had because it's not accurate. That does not happen. Unfortunately,
you get what we got, which was people holding their iPhone in front of Sundar repeatedly.
Yeah.
Tell me why my iPhone does this thing. I don't know why your iPhone does it. It's Apple.
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong person, and that's the problem that you're running into is they're asking, quite honestly, they're asking questions that need to be asked, but they're asking it of the wrong people, and they're not pulling the right people in, and they're just not educated on it.
And they're asking questions about like Twitter, like why they saw a thing on Twitter. And again, it's this fundamental misunderstanding. Google is not the internet. Twitter is a separate platform. iPhones are a different thing. And the questions that they were getting at are important questions, but man,
just their
right church, wrong pew, guys.
Right church.
I mean, right denomination?
Were there pews? He wasn't even in the ballpark. Nobody was in the ballpark. But they're good questions.
Well, okay, they're not awful questions.
I think that's a good question to ask. I think it's a fair question to ask. Like, hey, are you bubbling up stuff to the top that shouldn't be there?
But that wasn't the question that was asked.
No, that's the problem.
Yeah.
If you ask that question, that's a totally different conversation. Yeah. Now they're asking the CEO of Google, how does a phone work?
Yeah.
Or how does basic search results work? Or what happens when I hit, I'm okay with the terms and conditions of them actually pulling together a profile to help them understand the search results that they want to present to you.
Yeah.
You don't understand the basic the basic fundamental principles of how that company works, yet you're asking them to explain it to them at a Senate hearing.
Well, and on top of all that, they're asking the question may be very, very benign. It may be a very, very simple question. Look, you talk to my dad about this. He gets so frustrated with me because he'll ask me a question and then I go, oh man. And then I get into this long drawn out answer. And he's like, no, I want a simple answer. That's fundamentally what all these guys wanted. They wanted simple answers to, at its heart, are very deeply technical questions, very complex questions, things that don't have simple answers. So, yeah, I mean,
and complex questions that a lot of people, like the complex question output, is what a lot of people want.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
People want it. Like, you get stuff on Amazon. You want that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And all that comes at a cost. It comes at a cost of personal privacy. So, I mean, yeah, hey, by all means, we can give up on all of the great technological progress we've made with, I won't even say artificial intelligence, even though, I mean, that, let's be real, the way that we're pursuing artificial intelligence right now through deep learning networks is largely in part to the amount of data that Google and Facebook and so on and so forth have been able to gather. Why? Because we all just go, accept, click button, whatever, just give me the thing, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's how that comes about. I mean, that's the cost trade-off.
And for me, I'm okay with it because me personally, what I'm getting, okay. But I also understand that I am the product.
You understand the trade-off.
I understand the
You're
trade-off.
An informed consumer.
I am an informed consumer.
Yeah.
I am making the cognitive choice to give them my data for them to do the thing that they want to do with it. So that was kind of depressing. Way to go.
I mean,
look at Baymax.
Angry red Baymax. Dude, it's getting more red by the minute.
Yeah, he is really agitated right now. It's super swollen too.
Well,
super like raised up, I guess.
You got anything else?
I don't know. Hit him with socials.
All right. In case you haven't noticed, we've got our socials playing on the lower thirds. I
Mine's
think.
not
I don't know
correct.
if it's. I don't know if it's.
Mine's
Still
not.
going.
Yeah, it's still
You
going.
haven't updated yours in a while. Yeah.
No.
Because you're still Big Bad Cadillac.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's
Yours
not
is
that.
not.
It's
So you can.
Scott Peachy.
You can find me on Twitter, and really the only place you can find me at ominous hominid. There it is. You can find. Where can they find you?
At Scott Peachy on the Twitter machine, and at the Scott Peachy on Instagram.
There it is. And of course, you can always find us youtube.com/technically speaking. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. That's it.
Hit the bell icon because his name's Mr. Jingles.
I so desperately just want to like stop the stream right on that just weird, awkward. His name is Mr. Jingles.
Well, the bell icon in
buddy.
Google is Mr. Jingles. That's what it's called. Google it. I'm not even kidding.
Wait, are you serious right now?
Bet you $20.
I won't do that because that means you're serious as a heart attack because you don't make bets you won't lose. The bell is called Mr. Jingles.
Mr. Jingles.
That is the craziest thing that I've ever heard. Okay.
Yeah, Mr.
And
Jingles.
there-
I know that I'm right. I know I'm right. So.
There's the leaving the live stream on a high note right there.
Mr. Jingles, and his name was Mr. Jingle, Jangle, Jingle, Jangle.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
hit him out. Bye.
All right, we'll see y'all later.